Rhode Island Air National Guard. It's the C-130J Super Hercules, the Air Force's newest and most advanced tactical aerial platform. Today's demonstration is being commanded and flown by Lieutenant Colonel Joe Franker, along with First Lieutenant Chris Williams and Master Sergeants Rich Barda and George Caprone. All four of these experienced crew members have recently returned from service in Afghanistan and are veterans of operations enduring freedom and Iraqi freedom. The aircraft you see on the runway today was built by the men and women of the Lockheed Corporation in 2006. The first C-130 was built over 50 years ago, and it's been in continuous service to our military forces. Today's demonstration will highlight the C-130's capabilities and handling characteristics. Looking left, Rhode 37 will begin its takeoff roll using just under 2,000 feet of runway, 1/3 the distance required by most airliners.
That's pretty cool.
Air Boss Kevin Wiggins has just given the clearance for the aircraft to take off. They're on the roll, ladies and gentlemen. Your friends, your neighbors. This is the Rhode Island Air National Guard C-130J Super Herc. Here at Quonset Air National Guard Base. It's recently returned from service in Afghanistan supporting Operation Enduring Freedom. The wingspan, 136 feet. 132 feet, 6 inches. It's 113 feet long, 39 feet tall. It weighs about 90,000 pounds and is capable of operating to a maximum weight of 164,000 pounds. It has 4 Rolls-Royce engines and new propellers, 6-bladed propellers called Dowty propellers. They are different than the original Hercules. The first Hercules A model had a 3-bladed propeller for each engine. Subsequent models had 4-blade propellers, but this one has a 6-bladed propeller that allows it to speed up to reach speeds of over 320 knots. That is over 380 miles per hour. Here comes the Super Herc. They can get as high as 40,000 feet in this airplane, and as it went by, you might have noticed just a little bit of what looked like clouds forming on the tops of the wings. At these speeds, the way the air is being compressed and the moisture that's in the air actually makes the moisture particles come together and form a cloud. You could actually see it, and it looks like we're going to see more of that today in today's show as well. Generations of soldiers and Marines and airmen have counted on this versatile combat aircraft to accomplish a variety of missions in austere and hostile environments. The Herc is capable of carrying 78 combat troops and can airdrop 42,000 pounds of supplies and equipment. Airmen today are flying several variants of the C-130, supporting troops through air, land, and airdrop operations. And in a moment, you're going to see the C-130J Super Hercules make a short field landing using less than 1,500 feet of runway. Look at the size of this airplane. That it weighs 40,000 pounds, can weigh up to 164,000 pounds fully loaded. Look how maneuverable it is. With a 132-foot 6-inch wingspan, it is actually longer than the Wright brothers' first flight at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina on December 17, 1903. That flight lasted 12 seconds and covered 120 feet. That first powered flight from 1903 that changed the world could have been flown right on the top wing of the J model Hercules. With over 45 degrees of bank right there, look at the maneuverability of the Super Herc. Again, think of the size of the airplane, and let me tell you a story. The Air Force was the first to use this aircraft. You can see that. Look at the face on the top. Oh boy, that looks awesome. I love that. You get a good picture, Tony? Good. I want to see it on Airshow Buzz tonight. All right, they're going to set up for a landing here in just a couple of seconds. This airplane was so successful for the United States Air Force that even the United States Navy looked at it and they thought maybe we could use the Herc on board an aircraft carrier. Now, how on earth would they pull that off? Well, it was in October of 1963 that Navy Lieutenant James Flatley took a Hercules and landed on the USS Forrestal aircraft carrier. Now, with a 132-foot wingspan, that gave less than 17 feet of clearance from the right wingtip to the superstructure of the aircraft carrier. Not only was he able to land successfully on the Forrestal, but he did it without a tailhook. It was a non-carrier arrested landing. As a matter of fact, he made 29 touch and goes and 21 full stop non-arrested carrier landings. Then Lieutenant Jim Flatley was awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross for his ability to land the Hercules safely on the deck of the Forrestal. The Navy decided not to go for it. I think partly because, not only because there was so little margin for error, but also the amount of space that it would take up on the deck of the carrier. From the right, I want you to take a look at the crew as they prepared to do a tactical landing using only 1,500 feet of runway. Lieutenant Colonel Joe Francoeur, First Lieutenant Chris Williams, and Master Sergeants Rich Barta and George Caprone. You will hear a very large sound after it touches down. In order to slow down very rapidly, they will reverse the pitch or the angle of the blades, and instead of becoming pullers through the air, it'll become a pusher, and that's the noise they use to slow it down. Rhode National Guard C-130J Super Hercules. Let's watch that door come open in the back. Each of the little voices generates nearly 5,000 pounds of thrust. Okay, we're not going to be... Oh, we see the cargo door coming down just a little bit now. They're going to offload 2 pallets of equipment without the use of ground support, demonstrating its self-sufficiency and its flexibility. Watch this. 1 and 2. How about that? Now, once they got those deployed, the door will close. The loadmasters, Master Sergeants Rich Barta and George Caprone, confirm that the door is closed. They will get on the intercom up to Joe Francoeur, Chris Williams, and say, "Clear to go, boss." Now let's watch this high-performance takeoff of the C-130J model Hercules. Watch for the nose to come up at about 140 miles per hour, and there they go. A great round of applause for the Super Herc. Designed in 1951 for the Air Force's Tactical Air Command, the C-130 set a new pattern for military transport aircraft. Previous types usually had piston engines, tail wheel landing gear, and side doors. The Hercules used turboprop engines. Those turboprops, what that means is, it's a jet engine that turns a propeller. It also used that high wing to avoid encroaching on the cargo space and to provide excellent short takeoff and landing capability. And that sturdy tricycle landing gear to allow it to operate from unpaved airstrips. The Rolls-Royce turboprop engines can help this airplane reach speeds of nearly 400 miles per hour. But this time we're seeing a slow speed pass, with the nose being pitched up several degrees of angle of attack up. Give them a wave. Cargo doors open. You can see in the back. Look at, there they are. Rich Barta is back there, and also they are, of course, tethered. In a moment, they'll make another tactical approach and landing, and once on the ground, they're further going to demonstrate the Super Herc's outstanding capabilities by actually backing up on the runway. This ability is often necessary in the harsh and austere locations that the C-130 operates in worldwide. We're going to do one more photo pass, then they're going to break to land. Some of you who have been coming to the show for many years will recognize this aircraft as one very similar to the one flown by the United States Navy's Blue Angels all-marine crew. It's the support aircraft for the Blue Angels, a C-130 Hercules that they call Fat Albert. Well, this one is Rhode. That moisture becoming visible on the top of the wing there. The C-130J, although it appears so much like the others, is in many respects a completely new aircraft, better suited for the future, with the new engines and the Dowdy 6-bladed propellers, new cockpit systems and avionics have transformed this aircraft. Serving with the United States, Great Britain, Australia, and possibly New Zealand and other countries, including Canada, flying the C-130J. The two-person highly automated instrument panel now doesn't require a flight engineer. The automation has become so good. The other thing you'll notice is how quiet the airplane is. And that's even important in the battle zone. The first J model Hercules took flight on April 5th of 1996. The first of the J models to enter service with the United States Air Force, I believe, was one that was designed for weather observation. And because these engines are so fuel efficient, they don't have to use underwing tanks that cause extra drag. Lieutenant Colonel Joe Frank Kerr, First Lieutenant Chris Williams in the cockpit. Getting ready to do another tactical landing. Stopping the airplane in just 1,500 feet, and then they'll show you how they back it up. Watch for the flare. Nose wheel down. Listen for the reverse of the... Let's hear it for the 143rd